Have you ever heard someone say, I felt like I had to do all the work myself to buy one of these? Well, 42% of recent homebuyers reported that their agent was less helpful than expected, while another 54% said that their agent cared more about making a deal happen than their best interests. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll ever make. But what happens when you have the wrong real estate agent or that agent just isn't the right fit for you? My suggestion, you should immediately review that agreement, if you sign one, to see how long are you stuck in that agreement for before you become angry, stressed out, or even annoyed, because a bad real estate agent may waste a lot of your time and possibly even cost you thousands of dollars. So be sure you don't choose a real estate agent with poor communication, unprofessional behavior, and possibly even poor negotiation skills. I actually had this scenario happen to me just the other day, where someone reached out to me and shared with me their initial plans were to purchase a home, and they were already connected to a real estate agent, so my presence is nowhere to be found. It's not even needed at this point in time. But her plan changed in terms of purchasing, but she still needed to be in that area. But I want you to take a guess on what do you think happened between that interaction and that relationship with the customer and the real estate agent. Because I'm sure you're going to guess it right. That real estate agent decided to start distancing themselves for whatever apparent reason, but completely forgot about the idea that the person still needed to be in the area, which led that person to reach out to me because assistance and guidance was still needed there. And I share this because this sort of thing happens more often than you can think of. So be cautious when you're choosing the person to partner with you to accomplish your real estate goals with. Because someone that is just quick to just leave and just kind of do their own thing, that's a real telltale sign about them and just kind of what their goals or plans were in general. This is why after meeting with every real estate agent, which in fact you should at least be meeting with 3 minimum, I really want you to ask yourself this. Do you feel as if that real estate agent had your best interests at heart? Because there are stories out there that I'm sure you don't want to be a part of. In fact, do me a favor. Tell me in the comments below, what has been your experience with any sort of real estate agent? And if you haven't had any experience, what is the biggest challenge that you're worried about? Because someone who really has your best interests at heart and wants to provide you with great service or experience is not going to have poor communication. And when I say poor communication, I am not talking about the second that you give a real estate agent a call that they're consistently and always required to pick up the phone. It's more about the real estate agent that is not answering your calls or even returning it, not answering your emails, your texts. Therefore, you're consistently finding yourself having to chase them down for updates or for anything. Now that, start a red flag, like challenge that one for sure. However, I'm fully aware, trying to see how someone communicates during the first 2-3 interactions could be really tough to identify. So I would say start the process a little bit earlier of trying to find a real estate agent and see how that dialogue and that interaction is between you two. But poor communication applies to a lot of different things. In fact, I'll throw in this additional one, which is scheduling any sort of appointment or meeting to meet with each other. And let's just say that real estate agent is a no-show. I mean, that is just dead wrong.
It was a no call, no show for work this morning.
I could understand if someone is late. I personally would hope that you guys all would put that expectation that that person has enough respect and decency of your time to reach out to you to let you know. But if you have no sort of communication, I mean, that's just a big telltale sign. You know what? I'm not going to even continue to speak on this. I'm just going to let my past client share with you his experience.
Yeah, so I'll probably do a little like compare and contrast, but basically I'd say about 5 years ago we started first home, kind of just reaching out, and I'm a member of some groups as well as, you know, real estate agents. They're always online talking, and so I got involved with this one group. It's like a network of agents where, you know, back then they might have had like 1 or 2 in each state, and they said, okay, here's this guy in your state, and I was like, okay, cool, because it's kind of like, okay, I know these people that are part of the network, so it's like a warm referral. I'm not just going with a random person. And so I connected with the guy, and messaging back and forth, and where the communication is. So I mentioned it was our first home, so where the communication started to break down was primarily around us getting pre-approved. So that's one thing going into the home buying process for the first time I didn't know anything about. I didn't realize you talk to a lender first, you get pre-approved, then you talk to the real estate agent. So in the compare and contrast, to put it very bluntly, I guess, because we weren't pre-approved, it was very difficult to hold conversations with him. Not picking up the phone, not responding to messages and emails, stuff like that. Not a whole lot of guidance through that process. And just based off my memory, he didn't refer us to anyone. So we were kind of out there looking for pre-approval on our own. And so, again, wanting to tap into my network and the people that I know, I reached out to a friend. She referred me to you because she's in a different state, but all in the same network. Hey, talk to Roney, and then Roney, you referred me to a guy who could help us with the pre-approval process, and that's where I feel like things really buckled down, because we weren't just talking to that guy for the pre-approval process, but you were also checking in like, hey, how's it going? Because, what if the lender did the same thing to me and ghosted me or wasn't communicating or something like that? Thankfully, that didn't happen, but now I have Ronnie to fall back on. Hey, well, we tried that guy, maybe we can try another guy or something like that.
Another sign you might have chosen the wrong real estate agent is when you can see for yourself there's a lot of unprofessional behavior going on. And those sort of things can consist of just being unprepared, whether that's for your appointments, your showings, your meetings that you guys have set. This person maybe is failing to meet your needs, listening skills are subpar, or you find yourself arguing with this individual rather than this person listening to you more. And I say that last piece because, yes, that is a real thing. You'll find. I actually had this happen to me where I personally was trying to help someone relocate to the North Carolina area, but plans for him changed where he was like, hey, I can't move to that area. I need to move to a whole nother area. So I was like, cool. I'll connect you to a real estate agent that I know and that I can trust that can handle the business properly to make sure that you can get your goals accomplished. However, let's just speed up the story a bit more. Let's just say 2 weeks prior to close, I get notified that these two are like in a massive dispute and are arguing with one another. And I was mind blown because I've never had a scenario like that even happen. And even I mess up sometimes with connecting other individuals to make sure that you guys have a great buying experience in general, which is why I share with you. Please share as much information as possible so that I can make sure that I am connecting you with the right agent so that you can have a good experience. And the best way to do that is click the link in the description below and you'll see exactly where to leave that information. But I implore you to do that just so we do not have another experience like that. Because one of the last things that I want anyone, especially you, to deal with is someone who becomes a conflict of interest where the real estate agent starts to prioritize their needs before your own. I mean, now you got to really find your way out of there as quickly as possible because you are dealing with a six-figure asset, thousands of dollars, and a lot can go wrong. So if you find yourself dealing with someone who really doesn't ask you enough questions in terms of trying to understand what are your goals, maybe even sticking to your own budget, or simply isn't asking enough questions to really understand what it is that you're trying to do, I'm just going to throw it out there. Be cautious and try to get your way out of there because, yes, it may happen where you'll find yourself in a scenario like this individual here that shared it on Reddit where they're literally working in the opposite of what they're trying to do. The fourth sign that you might have chosen the wrong real estate agent is when you can see for yourself that that agent has a lack of local knowledge. Although in my personal opinion, it is not a deal breaker because the information is all online, it is really easy to get put up to speed extremely quickly. Sometimes all it takes is just reading something, a phone call, or just kind of coming across the right information to be able to articulate what exactly is going on and how to navigate that specific real estate market. But what I'm really referring to is beyond real estate, right? So looking to see what's going on infrastructure-wise, developing-wise, because I actually have a buddy of mine who purchased a home years ago, and he was unaware that this was occurring, but now, guess what? His backyard is a highway. right? So if you want to avoid situations like that, you want the person that you're working with to understand beyond real estate what's going on, what's the climate, right? What's coming, what's not coming, or the things of that nature, so that you can fully aware, be put up to speed, and also know that you're not making a terrible decision purchasing where you are going to purchase. But let's say if you're really keen on understanding what market trends are like, I would recommend asking questions like, is it a buyer's or seller's market? Are sellers getting asking price? And this right here is a trick question. If someone tells you what the future of real estate is like or where mortgage rates are going, that's a big telltale sign that they're taking a guess, because everybody takes a guess on that one. No one ever knows, so there's no real answer out there. And lastly, if you're dealing with a real estate agent that has weak negotiation skills, just know they may just be giving away your money at this point in time. And I'm not actually saying at the same time, partner yourself with the person that's like macho man is just gonna pound the table and just trying to demand everything, because that's not always gonna work either, right? You don't want someone to throw a pissy fit in sort of negotiation to destroy your entire plan or your deal, or even you being able to purchase that home. In fact, you want someone that's going to be a little bit more strategic, thinking outside of the box, so that you can still get what you want, and maybe get even more, just because they advocated for you a little bit more and they were thinking this thoroughly through, rather than shouting and making demands, because again, that's not always going to work. And don't get this piece confused, because I know that there's this notion out there that a newly licensed real estate agent is not well equipped to assist you. And honestly, some people look at it as like it's the end of the world. But honestly, I beg to differ, simply because if the person is not willing to learn or is stuck in their ways, now that's where you have a bigger issue at hand. But if the person is willing to learn, is well connected, and can make a phone call literally to get a better understanding of something, now you have someone that can literally provide you maybe with a fresh perspective, can give you a strategy or a plan that can help you accomplish your goals a lot quicker than that person who is more experienced. Again, if you're stuck in your ways, you're going to lose out on a little bit more efficiency and how to get things done to the point where you are actually helping someone accomplish their goal quicker, sooner, maybe even cheaper. Because at the end of the day, just because someone holds a real estate license does not necessarily mean they're even utilizing it. Just remember that. So if you do come across a newly licensed and you're concerned, see how they operate in different areas, like how well are they connected? Maybe they have better negotiation skills. Or even what systems and strategies can they implement to help you buy your home? Because I really want to turn your attention towards real estate agreements, where you may find surprise fees, hidden agendas. Let's just put it like this. If your agent isn't upfront about the things that is required to working with them, simply say, we don't trust you. So for your sake, please be aware of what you're signing, and even how long are you signing it for. However, don't forget, I am here to connect you to the best real estate agent in your area, especially if you need any sort of real estate assistance. So make sure to click the link in the description below, and make sure you do fill out the entire form. That way I can reach out to you personally and understand a bit more of what your needs are, so that we can make sure we connect you with the best possible agent. If you don't know by now, finding the right real estate agent is one of the keys to having a successful real estate transaction. So if you notice any one of these red flags, it may be time for you to move on, or else your deal is at risk. If you have any stories or fears about working with real estate agents, let me know in the comments below, because I'm curious to hear, and actually I want everybody to be able to see what other people are experiencing so they can be aware of it and be cautious of it. But just as much as I enjoy making these videos for you guys, my name is Roney Polynice, and if there is anything I can do to help you with your real estate needs, just reach out.